G'day everyone, hope you're well. Welcome back to my channel. Now, in this video, I've just got a message. I've heard a lot of people, they listen to someone who's doing really well and they watch a video or they watch a video on YouTube or they listen to someone talk on Instagram, they look at their posts, they're on Facebook, whatever it is. They see someone talking about something and the person that's talking about it, they're in a position of, they're doing really well at what they're doing, whether that's in social media marketing, whether that's just in business in general, whether that's, at the gym or, just mental health or, spirituality, whatever it is, they're doing really well and they're teaching other people about it. And they're putting out content, they're putting out very, very valuable content. And you have these people, you've got these people that go onto those posts and they just say negative things. They're like, oh, that's not true. This person just doesn't know what they're talking about. Or they got no idea. Don't listen to them. They're wrong. This advice is outdated. It's not going to work. It's just bad. All that kind of stuff. And I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Those people that say, there's someone who's putting themselves out there. There's someone who's putting content out there. They're really taking a step forward and trying to help others. And you've got these people that, just spend their time just like putting them down, saying, hey, no, that's wrong, you're wrong. And, granted, there might be some times where what they're saying is actually incorrect, or it might be, if they're saying some facts and they're actually false or whatever it is. But, generally when people are expressing their opinion, they're expressing, advice that's worked for them. They're saying, hey, this actually worked for me and I really, I hope maybe you can apply it and it'll work for you too. And they're coming with a sincere sense of authenticity and, a genuine sense to help people and actually want to help people. And then you've got those people that say, no, you're wrong, this isn't right, no, this is never going to work, you need to do this, that's wrong, why are you listening to these people, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, I'm sure you see it all the time online. Just my sort of thoughts on this whole thing. If someone has the courage, if someone has first thing, if you think it's easy to go and talk to a camera, you think it's easy to put yourself out there online, it's not. You go and try it. The first time I ever stood in front of a camera and tried to film myself speak, I'll try and include a clip here to see if I have my first ever YouTube video where I was like facing the camera. And I'll show you what I was like. And it's funny. It's funny for me now looking back at it and thinking, okay, that I've changed, I've developed a lot since then, so it's just funny to go back and watch it. But yeah, you've got they think it's easy to do it, so that's why they criticize and they're like, oh no, this is wrong. But you've got these people that are willing to put themselves out there, that are willing to, actively try and help people. They've got all those people that are trying to put them down, and I just don't understand. I think, as I said, the courage it takes someone to actually put themselves out there, the courage it takes them to, share some value. For someone to actually put themselves out there and share their experiences, to share valuable information that's actually helped them grow as a person, and for people to just put them down, it's, I was talking about it in a past video, I was talking about it and how to overcome imposter syndrome, who are you to talk about this, who are you, who are that, all that negative talk. And the way to combat that is by, I think I mentioned in that video, it's just knowing that you don't have to be an expert at something to help people. You just have to be one step ahead of where they are. So when you've got all those people online that criticize the people who are just starting, they even criticize the people who are experts at what they do. And main example, the whole main message of this video is, I was watching a video of, Gary Vaynerchuk, entrepreneur, CEO of VaynerMedia, chairman of VaynerX, the holding company, and there's loads of other mini companies under that, well, not mini, but other companies under that. He had a video on LinkedIn. He's notorious for, like being active on social media, replying to his comments, engaging with his community, and his community is huge, and for him to engage with, at the level he does is incredible for, what he's doing at the moment, like especially his work with nonprofits and, all the other stuff he's doing. For him to take the time to, engage with this community at the level he does is really inspiring. And one of the videos he just put up on LinkedIn, he was talking about a video he put up, and he's a very key, advocator for a strong company culture. And I talked about this in a past video. Having a strong company culture and a strong team, a home team, is super important because it's going to help you grow. It's going to help the company grow to levels far beyond, even if, on paper, it might look like, oh, we're getting rid of our best sales guy or our best, HR guy or our best saleswoman or, our CMO. No, we have to get rid of her because, we don't want to get rid of her because she's doing an awesome job, or she's propelling like revenue forward. But in the book Live Big, Ajit, I said a kit in the last video, it's Ajit. He said, yeah, it's better to have a strong company culture, and that's something Gary Vaynerchuk talks strongly about as well. If you've got people who are toxic within your company and your business, you have to get them out, regardless of how good they are at what they do. If they're, if it's spreading and the toxicity is hurting other employees' morale and it's putting tension in the office, you need to get it out because it's going to have detrimental effects long term. So, he put up a video about that on his LinkedIn, or maybe it was on his YouTube. Put it up. And he actually released a video on his LinkedIn going over, he released the video and it went viral on LinkedIn, I think it was. It went viral. Loads of views, ridiculous amounts of comments and interaction and engagement. And he basically said there was a few people that made some remarks on the video saying, his whole thing was, if you're a huge company, if you're a small company, if you're whatever size business or company you are, you need to invest in your team. You need to build a really strong team. And if you've got toxic people in your company or your business or your team, you need to get them out, regardless of how good they are. You just need to get them out because it's going to hurt you long term. And that was his message. He put that out there. VaynerMedia, I think, is over 800 employees. They're in multiple locations around the world. I think their main ones are New York and London. I think there's one in the Philippines as well. Don't quote me on that, but there's lots of different locations. And I think he's a qualified person to talk about building company culture with how VaynerMedia has scaled, how he's built out this company of over 800 people across multiple locations around the world. And, the content that you see his team putting out online, it's just their values and their, what they stand for as a team. And the company culture is incredible, and what you hear about VaynerMedia, especially the employees who talk about, their experiences of the company. It's awesome. And so I think he's a qualified person to talk about company culture. So, and he's one of the main people that kind of pioneered the CHO, so Chief Heart Officer. And he says that that's the second position below him, basically. That's the second most important position below the CEO at VaynerMedia. He says, or apart from, not below. But yeah, it says Chief Heart Officer. It's like basically the head of HR, but like the next level. So their job is to make sure that everyone is catered for their needs and they're working at their optimal level because they actually care about them. And so he put out that video. It went viral, did very well. And then there was all these people in the comments, and he actually went back and he made a video addressing some of the comments that were put up, some of the negative comments. And some of the people were saying, just random people were saying, Gary doesn't know what he's talking about. This would never work it might work for small businesses, but it would never work at large companies. And, the audacity of these people to criticize him and say you're wrong and say, you've got no idea what you're talking about, kind of saying that, he's not in a position to talk about this kind of stuff. There's a reason why he said what he said. And, it's his opinion, obviously, and people might have differing opinions, but the way they position those opinions online, they said, basically Gary is blatantly wrong. What he's saying is wrong. It will never work for large organizations. And Gary came back to that saying, well, of course it will. I was basically saying it would work for any organization. And he said that small organizations with strong company culture act much more efficiently and more quickly than large organizations with all these long procedures and systems. And that's the reason why they're so slow to adapt to new changes and adapt to new technology and build a strong core team, because they're too busy focused on the short-term metrics, the financial goals and the revenue for the next quarter. They're not worried about long-term success. And people were commenting. The ultimate, what I'm trying to say in this video is people were criticizing him for him sharing his message, his experience, information that he found of value. His main message in that video was to say, you need to care about company culture because it is so important. And there was people in the comment section of that video behind their iPhones, behind their smartphones, behind their computer, rattling away, being keyboard warriors, saying, you're wrong, you're this, you're that. You're wrong, there's no way that would work in my business is different, there's no way that company culture is that important, all that kind of stuff. And in my opinion, I think that is ridiculous. I think if you see something you don't disagree with online, that's okay. You can voice that disagreement. You can say, hey, I respect your opinion, I respect the point you actually portrayed in this, but have you considered maybe it wouldn't work in this situation? And you can have meaningful discourse. But Don't be someone who comments on these videos and says, you are wrong, your opinion is wrong, you've got no idea what you're talking about. Because what does that do for anything? That's not constructive, that's destructive, that's just going in the wrong way. And it's just, then Gary makes these videos calling out, well, not calling out, but like coming up with responses to these, these remarks that were made by people. So that's my purpose of this video. Don't discriminate people. Don't, objectify. Don't, rally against people that are willing to share their message online. Because next time you're about to post a comment, you're about to, say something that's destructive and not constructive, how about you pick up the phone? How about you pick up the camera and start sharing your message? How about you share your experiences before you go and discriminate others for doing the same? So that's for any size. Gary is at is up there really, really high. And then there's people that are just starting out. And the people that are just starting out generally cop it the most, and it hurts them the most because they've never experienced this kind of kickback before. And it's a hard thing to move through. And as I said in the imposter syndrome video, it's very hard to move past that because there's lots of people that are rallying against you. You may have seen them as your friends before, but all of a sudden they're like push against you saying, no, you're wrong. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? You're trying to create your own business and there's all these people that are pushing against you. So if you're someone who is actually sharing their message, don't be deterred by all these people. Don't feel disheartened. It's all part of it. A key example I can think of was when I first started my YouTube channel back in the day. This was like year 9. And I was making FIFA videos. Oh, this is next level. I was making these FIFA videos and I would cop it at school. They'd be like, oh yeah, nice, top 5 goals of the month, yeah, all that kind of stuff. Just having some banter, like, what are you doing? Yeah, those goals are terrible, all that kind of stuff. And for a 15-year-old, I copped it pretty bad. I was like, oh, damn, should I keep doing this? Should I keep doing this if I keep copping it like this? Is it worth it? Or the boys or my friends like going against me or, just paying me out because I have a YouTube channel, all that kind of stuff. But, you get to a point past it and they got to a point where, you understand it's a bit more than that. And, it's doing something I really enjoy doing and I didn't cop it as much because I moved past that initial period of resistance. You got to push through past that initial bit. It's like when you got 2 magnets. You're holding them together. And then as you pull them apart, you've got that bit where they're pulling really strongly back to each other. But then you get past that point of resistance and then it's free. So you've just got to push. If you're someone that's trying to share your message online, you're trying to share your message and you think you've got value to share with other people in a similar position, you've had some struggles and you've overcome them and you want to share that with other people and how to do the same, then all you got to do is overcome that initial period of resistance. When people say, no, you're wrong, no, you're this, no, you're that, they push against you. You just need to take it. You need to take it and use that as fuel to keep going. Because once you get past that point, once people recognize like, hey, he or she's they're for real. They're not leaving. They're sharing their message and they're going to keep doing it. Then they'll stop and they'll understand why. So that's just my 2 cents on the whole thing. If you're someone that, first of all, like a key thing for me has been, not expressing negativity. There's no point to be negative to, people that are sharing their message online. There's no real reason to be negative at all in life. But especially if it's people online, don't go hating on what they're doing. Let them do what they do. They're spreading their message. And I'm talking about generically in like business or lifestyle or fitness or whatever it is. I'm not talking about, there's people that share really negative messages out there. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about this, where people have a genuine, authentic intent. They actually want to help people, and there's people that are pushing against them. So if you're one of those, as I said, get past that initial point of resistance and you experience a whole new level of freedom where people will accept that you're doing it and you're not going to stop. It's a great feeling to get to that point. And then if you're someone that's, one of those people that comments negative things on people's posts, that, pushes against these, like pulls these people back when they're trying to, get past, when they're trying to do new things with their life, trying to make a difference in other people's lives. Just reconsider your actions. Reconsider, why are you posting that negative comment? Is it really going to do anything? Is it, why are you doing it? If it's a bit of banter, then fair enough. I'm all for banter. But if it's got genuine negative intent, then just have a think. Why are you doing that? Is it necessary? Is it not? Like, why are you doing it? So continue preaching your message. And if people combat you, you've got to get past that initial point of resistance, and then you will have a lot of fun and you will have a lot more freedom to continue to preach your message. So hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you got some value out of it, especially if you're someone that's struggling to share their message with other people, struggling to, talk about what they're passionate about, and they keep getting pulled back, or, you know, keep getting hit in the gut because they get all these like negative comments and they're like, oh, I don't know if I can keep doing this. This is really hurting. Like, is it worth all this effort just to like, for all this to happen? So it's definitely worth it. Keep sharing your message. For all those people that leave negative comments, think about it. Is it worth it? I'm sure you've thought about it before. You're gonna be like, oh yeah, stop talking. Okay, I'm not even doing anything. It's just for fun, just banter. Just have a think. Is it worth it? Should you be dropping that negative comment? Should you be the dislike feature on YouTube? That's a story for another day. I'm not really sure why that's there, but yeah, if you don't like what someone said, that's fair enough. You can have genuine discourse with them and have a strong, constructive argument about it. Just those throwaway comments, just think, do you actually need them there? So hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Catch you.